temperaments. In my view, young people should not have to wait until they are older to discover a passion for political and civic engagement.
Yes, that voice right there. That's a powerful voice. Can you hear it, Tracy G?
I can hear it, Sway.
Oh, I watched her evolution. Oh, I saw it happen before my very eyes. I knew her when she was at the HBCUs on Howard University campuses. I was hearing about it from her family member, Kelly Kincaid. She'll come to New York, and I'll just see the vision in her eyes. And now look at what she's doing. Assistant General Counsel for the D.C. House and Finance Agency, and also the host of the Political and Civic Engagement Bootcamp for teens and young adults. That's this Saturday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The one and only Brittney Jordan. Brittney Jordan is on the line.
So much. Thank you so much for having me, Sway.
Absolutely, Brittney. You know your family, but even more, just equally as important is the work that you're doing. It's the work that you're doing. And we are in some very crucial times, especially when it comes to the political front. And this boot camp seems so perfect because a lot of our kids are forcibly have to be engaged in the political arena and the discourse at an earlier age. And I always felt like, Brittney, that these things should be taught at an early age, just the way we teach the sciences, math, PE, all of these different things. How did this even come about, and why was it important for you to make the Political and Civic Engagement Boot Camp and be a host thing take place?
Yes, thank you again. It really started from just reflection, self-reflection on kind of where I started to where I am today, and just thinking about all of the different things and events that kind of led to my political involvement and the work that I do currently. And so when I thought about that, it was a lot of the outside activities, like you're speaking about, that helped to cultivate my passion for politics. So earlier on in high school, I was a part of Jack and Jill. And in Jack and Jill, I ran for different offices. I did oratorical contests. And then that kind of took me to Howard, where I was very involved in student government and holding various offices there. And then at Howard Law School, being an elected representative. And so looking at that progression, a light bulb went off, as Oprah says, an aha moment, that we really need to cultivate this in young people who maybe they do have the resources, maybe they don't, but that shouldn't be a barrier. And so I wanted to create a program, this boot camp, that will cultivate and inspire and spark that same passion in another young person who may just need a little push, who may just need just that extra jump start to help to get them more involved in their communities.
Sounds excellent. I want to make sure. No. Go ahead, Tracy.
No, it does sound excellent. Please continue to edify. Jump in whenever you want, Sway, of course. I'm wondering, then, where is exactly the first place that you start with a kid? And then, is there an age that is the starting point for this conversation? Is there an age that is too young, or does the conversation evolve depending on the age of the child?
I don't think that there's an age that's too young. I mean, I have a 4-year-old, and we watch the debates. And, he kind of adds his little colorful flavor, which is hilarious at times. And so they're listening, even at 4. They're listening and they're understanding what is going on, and they hear the rhetoric, and they it touches them. And so, you can't think that it doesn't. It does touch the children, even at 4. And like Sway said, his daughter was 9 with a megaphone, at protests, marching. And so I think you just really have to be in tune with your child, your young person, and not assume that a subject is over their head, and just not assume that they don't want to learn more about civic engagement. You just have to meet them where they are. And so that means that drawing on things that are, current events. One thing that I like to use is Hamilton. That's
yes.
It's been so dynamic for young people. And when my husband and I were watching it, we were like, man, if they would have taught, government like this, we could get, a
we
lot
of
young people to learn
Yeah.
and be engaged. So never assume that this subject matter is over their head. It's so important.
We have Brittney Jordan, who's on the line with us right now, attorney. Tracy, you want to ask another question?
Yeah, Brittney, you got my brain just like all worked up in the best way possible. I'm hella curious, even though I don't have children, but I still am so fascinated by the youth, especially since, they have so much space in their brain to learn, to understand. They tend to just be more open-minded. And so now I'm wondering, how would you, let's just say I'm a parent and I am trying to attempt to explain Donald Trump to, I don't know, an 8-year-old, right? And I have my own adult fiery opinion. And yeah, just how do I explain it without putting in all of my personal angst?
Yeah, I hear you, and that can be difficult. It can be difficult on so many levels. But I think it's important to not so much, talk about Donald Trump, the man, but talk about the historical event that has got us to this place. And so once you kind of understand where we've been and the history behind everything that's happening right now, you can kind of divorce your, emotions from it, and so that you can come to the table with a clear head and, be able to articulate it in a way that isn't so negative, but just kind of framing it in a historical perspective, which may be a little bit more beneficial for the young person. But I know it's hard to not to do that. And sometimes emotions are good. I'm not saying that the emotion is bad, but I just think it's more effective to have a historical perspective. And even I have been watching and just educating myself more about historical events dealing with voter suppression, historical events dealing with the Voting Rights Act, that, I'm learning things and relearning things that perhaps maybe I learned before, but that are just becoming so much more relevant today.
Right.
I love it. Brittney Jordan is here. I want people to understand. Tell folks if they want to visit this political and civic engagement boot camp for teens and young adults. And I think you should sit and watch it with your kids. How can they be a part of it?
Yes. You can sign up via Eventbrite. If you go on Instagram to @thepoliticalbootcamp, there's a link in the bio to join. You can also find that link on @B_mad_. And you can also join and register on my website, BrittneyJordanESQ.com.
Say that again. Brittney Jordan.
Brittney Jordan ESQ, like Esquire, but just ESQ.com.
Okay. I have to ask you, being a Howard alum, there's another Howard alum that's running for office, Senator Harris.
Yes.
Right. And so what are your thoughts on Senator Harris and this history that she's been making? You cannot, when you talk about teaching the kids about the historical aspects of the political process, this woman being in this position with this opportunity, its history in its own right. What are your thoughts about it, your fellow alumni?
Yes, and Howard alum, Alpha Kappa Alpha chapter alum. Let me throw that in there too.
Okay, ski.
You know, it's just, my heart is so full seeing her just representing us in such an amazing way. The opportunity that this, you know, that this has for women of color, Black women, is just so inspiring, and it helps you to just walk with your shoulders back and your head high, just a little bit higher. And it also gives you an opportunity to have a conversation. And, you know, coming from, you know, I grew up in a predominantly white environment where a lot of folks, you know, I had to explain a lot of different things to people. And so this is a conversation starter. It's an opportunity to just change folks' minds and perspectives. And I just think that it's a beautiful day that we can see someone like Kamala Harris on this ticket.
It's amazing, right? Come on, man. Look like my daughter up there. You know what I want to do? We got a caller. Brittney Jordan is here, and we're talking about the host of the political. She's the host of the Political and Civic Engagement Bootcamp this Saturday, 2 to 5 p.m. I'm going to take one of our callers from Atlanta, and this is Damien, who has a question for you, Brittney. D, what up, man? It's Damien, y'all. D.
What up, hey,
D. Yo, what up, though? What up, Sway?
What up, family? You good?
Yeah, man, living good.
What's your question? Real quick, go.
Okay, yes, Brittney. Like, okay, I see as if a lot of people do not agree with Trump whatsoever. However, they do not really see the views of Biden as clear as they do. So what would you do different if you was in his shoes?
In Biden's shoes?
No, as a president, as the first lady president, what would you do different from what you see now?
Okay, well, I'm not running for president. But I just think that education is so important, and, you know, educating the youth, making sure that they understand what is going on, why their vote matters. I know, you know, a lot of young people are disillusioned with, you know, not believing that their vote matters, that their vote counts. But what I always tell people, and, you know, I hear this a lot, and I want to echo this: if your vote didn't matter, why is there so much effort to suppress it? So I think that it's just important to continue to educate our young people about voting, about civic engagement, and so that they understand why this whole process affects their lives.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that, Brittney. Once again, Brittney Jordan. And this is a nonpartisan effort right here, what's going on with this boot camp. So it doesn't matter what political affiliation you're a part of. That's not what this is about. This is about educating our youth and our teens about, you know, civic engagement and politics. And so this is a great time to sit down at the family, gather as a family, you know, everybody go online, and then tell them how they could be a part of this event on October 24th, Brittney.
Yes, please click the link in the bio on Instagram at the Political Bootcamp or at B_mad_, or you can go on my website, BrittneyJordanESQ.com, to register.
Okay, Brittney, very proud of you. Keep up the great work. I know Kelly Kincaid is proud of you as well. She's been beaming all week.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Sway.
Oh, all love. I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work. I'll check in on Saturday. Give it up.